I know He cares for me because He never left my side through all of the bad times and the good times. Jesus was still right there, even when I wasn't fully committed to Him. He never gave up on me, and someone that will never give up on you always is Jesus. Okay, all right. Hi, my name is Makenzie King, and this is a little bit of my story. About 2 years ago, I found myself in a dark place where depression and anxiety were ruling my life. I was in a situation where I was in a bad relationship, just not doing good overall in life. Anyone that has parents obviously knows that your parents can always tell when something is not right with you, and I was always putting on a face in front of family and friends, but my mom could also tell that my drinking had gotten out of hand, where I was drinking at every restaurant, at every family function. Like, I just always had to have a drink in my hand so that I could keep up that happy persona that I was trying to keep. The day that I knew I needed help was the whole day. All I could think about was killing myself, or just thinking that the world would be better off if I wasn't there, that I was a burden to everybody else. So after I was having these thoughts, and I had had these thoughts probably for a long time before this, but this particular day, they were just very, very strong, and it was scary. And I was with my parents that day, and then my mom could just tell that something was not right, and I finally just flat out said, like, I would rather die. And to have to tell your mom that is very hard, to see the pain on them. So after getting to talk with my parents and know that this, it's not a normal thing, but it's not the answer. You can get help, and there are lots of resources. And we decided at that point, since I decided myself that I did not feel like I wanted to live anymore, to check myself into Laureate in Tulsa. So going to Laureate, I would not have been able to do that myself without my parents there supporting me and knowing that they were gonna be there on the other side of that door whenever I was able to come out. But just knowing that they were gonna be there for me no matter what, my parents are my rock. We got in the car, drove there that night, and as soon as we entered, started talking to some of the people in the waiting room. There was only one female bed left that night. And as soon as we heard that, we knew that we were in the right place at the right time, with there only being one bed left. Checking yourself into Laureate is a very scary experience, but once you are there, it is life-changing. You do have to enter through a metal door, then you have to then be patted down and x-rayed and everything. All your personal belongings are taken away. You have to say goodbye to your family. You can't see them when you're there, but you are allowed to have phone calls. But just knowing that you're going to be completely away from like the real world is scary, because then the only thing you have to focus on is yourself, which is what we all usually put to the side. My first day at Laureate, I was visited by a pastor that comes by, and she came to my room and she prayed with me and just kind of set the tone for the week that I was going to have there, and just helping me know, like, this might not be like a place that feels safe for you, but to know that Jesus is with me on this journey, and that even the next day I was getting calls and notes from people at the church, and just going to somewhere like Laureate there's like a stigma in the church about places like that, but everyone was very loving and didn't make me feel like I was doing something that was crazy or weird. Like, it was something that it's a hospital where you go for help just like you would if you had a broken bone, but it just happens to be something inside of you. And then while I was in there, I received phone calls and messages, and I was able to get letters from people at the church, Pastor Kenny and Pastor Mark, my community group. They were all supporting me while I was in there as well, which was really awesome. I ended up staying at Laureate for a week, just to unwind and kind of get myself straight. And this time was really big for my life, just to actually focus on myself and not focus on others. I learned a lot of coping skills during that time, and I also learned about myself that I was using alcohol to cope with my situation before that. So I decided while I was at Laureate as well to be sober. In this day and age, it does feel like everything in the world revolves around alcohol. Everywhere you go, there's just always alcohol. So going back out into the real world and trying to make friends or meet other people my age every time would be, do you want to go meet at a bar or something? So at first it was really hard to be able to have the strength to push through the want of wanting to fit in, or just, it'll just be one drink. I would find myself praying before I had to go to an event, or even calling my mom and having her pray with me just to give me the strength, because I knew this was going to be a battle I had for the rest of my life. And, alcohol's always going to be in the world. So just having a stronger prayer life has definitely helped me just get closer to Jesus, just talk to him and let him know how I'm feeling. No matter how much the devil was trying to talk to me and get into my ear and into my brain and into all my thoughts, telling me all these horrible things, Jesus would still be there at the end of the day, telling me that I am loved and that I do need to be here, and just not to give up and to just focus on him. Jesus Christ is a friend, a father, just someone that you can talk to and not have to worry about judgment. He already knows what you're thinking. So I feel like when I'm praying, it's more like just having a conversation, and then I just continue to just ramble, and it's just nice, and it's kind of like talking to yourself, but Jesus is just right there listening. So I would say he's a very close friend. I have 2 biological sisters. I have a stepbrother, Connor, and then I have 3 stepsisters on my dad's side, and I'm the oldest of all of them. I try to be a good role model for them, and they were there for most of my downtime, so I want to show them that there are happier times. You can, get over what you're going through. You can get through it. You just have to keep Christ in the middle, because for a long time I was kind of in and out and not fully committed to the church, where I'd be like, I have one good month and then it'd be downhill. But just really keeping strong, reading your Bible every day is something big for me. I know there are multiple instances in the Bible where I know Moses had, his battle with alcohol. So just knowing and also reading through the Bible, seeing that these people that we, look up to and read stories about, like, they also struggled with their own problems, and some of them are what we struggle with today. So I am currently 2 years sober from alcohol, and I am doing so much better, going to therapy and just getting closer with God. And one way that I know that God has provided for me is with this church. It has helped me have a better group of friends, which are more like family now, people that I know care for me, that have my best interests at heart, that are staying away from the path that I didn't want to be on and helping guide me and stay on the path that I want to be on, which is God's path. It has given me a place to plug into, whether it be a community group, serving on Sundays in South Kids, just having an overall family at South Community Church. I would like to be remembered as someone who is strong, not only in her faith, but with her family, with her friends, with just everyone around her. Someone that can always be relied on, will never pass judgment, will just always be there for you. Somebody who can always put a smile on someone's face or make someone laugh, and I know how much it means to be there for someone, and to, especially in this day and age, like physically being there for somebody. Like, I will drive to wherever my people are at, or I will be there physically, not just over the phone, but someone who just will show up for you whenever you need them. I'll be there for you. Oh, now I If you're feeling lonely and you are struggling with alcoholism or mental health, there are so many resources. There is a phone number you can call. There are even text message lines that you can just text if you don't feel comfortable talking to someone. There are so many AA meetings, which sounds scary, but they are just groups of people who are all struggling with the same things. They're all complete strangers. It's all anonymous. It's somewhere that you can feel safe and feel included in a group where people are having the same struggles, and you can all talk openly about these struggles. Are you thinking of harming yourself? Do you have plans, and do you have the means? You can call 1-800-273-8255.